Yep. Okay, let's start with the string functions today. Okay, there are like dozens of string functions available in the SQL servers, in which we will be discussing few of them on or like daily regular life used functions in detail in this session. So why string functions? So we discussed one particular data type, varchar, invarchar, char, all these stuff. These things only deal with string data type. So whatever the operations that we do on strings, like to be performed on the strings or the string functions. So just a broad term of functions which are completely related to strings. So we have plenty of them. Let's go with the basic ones. So this ASCII, this is the function that we use to get ASCII value of a particular character. So ASCII and Unicode, these two things we discussed in the first sessions. So these are the data formats that we store data in our database tables. Okay, we'll go with ASCII first. So this is a particular data format that we store our data in. So what if that is a requirement that we need to get an ASCII value of a particular character, then we will be using this ASCII function. Let's say I want the ASCII value for A. Let's select. It gives 65. So the ASCII value of A is 65. Let's try small a if that does have any change. Yes, it does have change. So by means which this, every character available on the keyboard or like available to enter into the database tables has one particular ASCII code available for it. So this is about ASCII, and same way Unicode also works. But Unicode and ASCII value codes, those will not be same at all. Depending on the character set that we are passing. Here it is. So this is about Unicode and ASCII codes. So what if we get like we know Unicode or else ASCII code, but we want to get the character which is associated with it. For that we have function called char. So let's say, let me pass like for the same example that we have seen, as 65 for capital A. Let's try to get that. So let's do this. The value will be A. What if I pass some 190? It is 3/4. This particular column, this particular value is associated with 190. Whatever the number you pass on, it just returns the corresponding ASCII code associated with it. So this is about char, and we have char index. So this is the particular function that we use to get the character index in a particular string. So whenever we have a requirement that we need to find a particular character in the string and where it is located at. So that time we will be using this char index function. This just returns a number. So let's say first parameter that we pass on to char index is that a character for which we want to find the index of first occurrence. So let's say some word R inside training. So I want to find the index of R inside the word called training, and let us select it to the window, execute. So it just says 2. So 2 is, this one is presented at second position. And let's try for G. So this gives us 8. So let's calculate. T is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eighth position. So this is how char index index works. So char index is the one which gives the character index. So the position of the character in the string. This is about it. And what else we have? We have concat. This is the method we use very quite often in the real life or in the regular days of our work. What it does is that it just combines two strings together. Am I clear here? The concat is just that its duty is to combine the two strings together. So let's say I have two strings. One is called MSBI and another one is called training. So if I want to concat this MSBI and training together, I'll be using concat function. So this is how we'll get MSBI training all together in one value as one value. So what if we want this MSBI and training and whatever we pass on as separated with some separation values, some with some separator. So let's say MSBI training and let's say come. So what this concat does is that it just combines all the strings together which are passed down to the concat function and it just returns it. So what if you want any separator between all these three strings? So for that we have function called separate concat with separator. Almost the same, just this one adds on concat with separator. For this, the first parameter that are being passed will be the separator. So I'm passing space as my separator, and let me execute this. I passed space as separator and strings 3 followed by 3 strings. Concat is not recognized as a built-in function name, so this doesn't work in here. Oh, sorry. And the other one I thought of filling is that for the concat function. So concatenation with other operators like we have plus to do addition. This also will concat the strings. So this particular operator that I'll show, it's just that select string 1. This is how this particular addition operator also can be used as concatenation operator. And we have a few more, like a lot of string functions. And continuing with that, we have a function called length to find the length of a particular string that being passed. So let's try that. Select length of welcome. It returns 7. So there are like 7 characters followed in it. And we have another function. data length available, which also takes a string as a parameter, but it returns the memory, the size of the memory that the particular past value will be allocated to, like the size in the terms of bytes of memory. Same thing will be passing it here. It's also 7. So this particular word welcome will be allocated with 7 bytes of memory. So that's about data length. And we have another function called left, which actually takes a string and the number as the inputs. So let's give a string as and followed by the number. So what it gives. So it should give left 3 characters. So the 3 characters starting from the left. Let's execute and give TRA. Whatever the number you take on, it works fine. So it is just that left function duty is that start from the left and get the number of characters specified as second parameter. And we have same function to get it from the right. That is just right function. So for the left of training comma 5, we got train. Let's see for the right inning. So this is how left and right functions work. And we discussed about length. And we have another function to like to convert the cases to or change the cases of the values being passed on. Let's say for an example, I have some text that is being stored in the database, but I want it to be in all in lowercase, all are in uppercase. For that, we will be using lower to convert to lower and upper to convert to the upper cases. So let's see the lower one first. So string is the input for it, and let's say same training value. So this is the function. Let's execute. See, lower of any particular lower called on any particular string that will return all the lowercase string as an output. For the upper, let's copy this lowercase value. So this particular string for the upper, I'm passing all the lowercase string. So it gave me uppercase string. Whatever the string case that you pass on, C, TRA, I will be the capital, but it all gives in uppercase, regardless of what you pass on. So this is about lower and upper. And we have ncat. So here we saw about cat. This is for ASCII code, cat. And we have ncar function that is for Unicode. So it is just that character set is being different in here. So let's pass it on like in char of 20, sorry, 120. Let's execute. This is the value for small x. 121, it should be of small y. And 130, some of the different characters. So it's a space, I guess. Yeah, this is how it works. And what else we have? We saw the this function called char index to find a particular character occurrence in the particular string. So What if the requirement says that I want to find the pattern, the occurrence of the pattern inside the string? So that's where pat index function comes into picture. It is pat index. So just a pattern index. I want to say like I want to find tr inside training. What it does this is this percentile symbol mentions that any number of characters behind or in the head of it. So this gives number one. So just that it found in the starting itself. So what if I remove this percentile here at the end? It gave 0. That that means that tr this particular pattern did not find it's not available in the word called training. So what if I say a just the second? So from the second position, this RA is available. So this is how it works. And we have pretty much discussed about the wildcards. So those also can be included in this particular pattern. So this is about pat index. And we have a function called replace. So the duty of replace is that it gets like it replaces a particular character or any let's say character um, with some other new character in the whole string. Let's say I want training. I want to replace I with some other character. So this is the old character that I'm passing, and this is a new character that I'm passing. Let's let us just replace I in the training with X. So for this, let's execute what it did. Whatever the occurrences of I is replaced with X. So it's TRAXNXNG. So this is how the replace function works. And we have another function called replicate. What it does is it replicates the past string with the past number of times. Let's say I want hello to be printed for 10 times. So this is how I pass. It just prints hello, 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 hello for 10 times. So this is the functionality of replicate function. And we have another function called reverse, which actually reverses whatever the past value. Reverse of, let's say, hello only. This OLLEH. So whatever the string that you pass on, just returns even with the numbers. So this is how the reverse function works. And what else we have? We saw left and right to get the number of characters from the left or right. And we have trimming. So this trim is that this cutoff leading on the trailing characters, character trailing spaces. to be particular. So I have the function, I have value called space hello, and I want to remove this spaces before and after the value. So for that, I'll be using string function. So let's execute this. What it says, string is not recognized. Okay, no problem. Let's try ltrim. Ltrim is the function that removes or trims off all the left side uh, spaces. All the leading spaces will be removed with the help of ltrim, and we have rtrim for that to remove all the right side or trailing spaces. So it just given with the front spaces and as well as the like rear spaces to get off both rear and the front ones. That means like trailed and leading spaces. For that, we can use ltrim and rtrim, both the functions in together. So ltrim of one particular value, let's say same value with multiple spaces and hello available, and again with multiple spaces. So this gives me from this value to this value. So ltrim gives the value which with left spaces being removed, and I want to pass this whole thing to rtrim function. So that removes right side of the values, right spaces available for the particular past value. So let's see, left side removed and right side removed. For this, let's try to get it clear. So hello is of 5 letters, I guess, and I've given some multiple spaces and with left and right. So for the right ones, we have more. Let's deal with the same one. To be clear about whether the strings are like formatted or not, to get that, we can use the function called length inside this. So this should give me the length of from hello to this particular end. So let's try and execute this. So it says length of value is hello 5. So the consideration is that length did not consider leading and trailing spaces. Let's execute this as well. So it says 12. So left trimmed value just gave the 5 as hello, and the right trim does that 12. So these all thing is considered to for the count of the space, count of the values, or let's say count of the characters in particular. So this can be a tricky interview question to ask or to get or to expect in the interviews. So this is about trimming. And we have something called space function, which obviously like returns number of spaces. Uh, the number being the number which is passed on. Just 10 spaces available in here. Let's see how the len function works on this. Just gives 0. So it did not count while like leadings or trendings. That just how we found in this particular functions. So this is about spaces, and we have something called str, which actually returns number, the past number, as in string format. So the value that the function str returns will be the same as it passed, the same value that we passed, but the data type will be different. It is just that string value. And what else we have? We have substring function to find whether the string, whether the small string or the child string existing in the parent string or not. So for that, we will be passing multiple parameters for the substring. So let's say, is it to find the string? We have another function that to find the string or the occurrences, that is uh, pattern, pat index, and char index to find the character index. So this particular substring function gives us the string from and to the numbers that we pass on. So let's say I want welcome string, and I want from, sorry, this should be a number from 2 to 4. Let's select that to output window. So what it did that it started from 2 and got 4 characters out of it. Let's say start from 5 and get 4 characters. I don't think we have after 5 we have multiple characters available in it. So it just that starting from fifth character, it gave remaining characters. Let's say welcome to my world. So this is a big string compared to previous one, and let's execute this. What it said from 5. These are the characters that are available. This is how it comes. Let's say start from 2 and get 8 characters out of the string. So it started from 2 with the second position, which is E, and it got 8 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So space also considered to be a single character. And what else we are left with? I don't think we are left with anything in the string functions. We have almost covered almost all the things. Any doubts or any other functions you might have known, or any other things that regarding to the string functions that we should be discussing? Drop a message in the chat box, or speak up via yourself. And we are completed with numeric functions that are almost like math functions that we discussed. In SQL, we can give space. What by what? Jack Kishore, I did not get the question right.
In SQL, some training classes is there. In training classes, we can give training separate, class separate, in middle space.
Mhm.
That is my question, sir.
Okay, if you meant the something called concatenation, yes, we can give on that. So this function can also take mm, welcome, comma, space, comma. This takes this way also. And you have another one, which is the what it called the concatenation operator plus that can be used. You can mention space in here also, that works out. And we have space in here, that works out again. And we can do this. Or if you can mention space here also, that works out well. Any others? And for that fact, we have the function discussed, that is concat with separator. This also works. So let's say separator being some wild character or any other character that should be passed, and welcome, and another one passed as CLISS. So let's select that to output window. Well, this is strange. So this particular function also depending on like usually this works, but this particular visuals, I mean, the SSMS is of old version, so it's not supporting here. You guys have, if you guys have a new version, try this function concat underscore ws. So this will give the output called welcome underscore class. So for your answer, Jai Krishna, sorry, Jai Kishore. So if you pass on the space here with the welcome and the class being the second and third parameters, it should give the welcome space class as the output. So this, as it is an old version of SSMS, try it in your systems which are of new. You guys have installed recently, right? So it will be obviously a new version. Try it on yourself on this particular function, that will work. And any other doubts? And the same way, the function called trim also. So whatever the value that you pass on with leading or trailing spaces, this will be returning the completely trimmed value. So this is also did not work in this particular Visual Studio, Server Management Studio version, but it tried in your systems, it obviously works. Working in new version. Thanks, Anil. Try with the trim function also. That should also work with the leading and trailing spaces, those to be removed. Okay, so here we come to a conclusion that all the string functions. So are you guys clear with joins, or shall we discuss with the simpler examples in this class, in this session with like we have another 15 minutes left, or should I move on to next topic? Just drop your message in the chat box, joins, or any other new topic. Rest, guys. Okay, sure. Okay, we'll recall the joins. So let me take one. So okay, let me share another window for you. So you guys can see it now. The new window that I have opened. It's of MS Paint. Okay, no issues. So let's go with the joins one on one. The first thing first. It's about inner join. Okay, let's say I have two tables and I'm doing an operation which is of inner join. So let's say this is the table one and the table two. So I've joined these two with a condition of like say uh, with a joining concept like inner join. So this is being table one, T1, and this is being table two, T2. So I've joined table one, table two with the inner join as a constraint, uh, and I'm expecting some results. What will be that particular result? So I guess this is the fill option. So this particular section from two tables, like table one's data, which is matched with table two's data, that will be the output of inner join. So this is all about inner join. So whatever the match records from both the tables, table one and table two, will be returned as an output of inner join statement. So let's see what are the tables that we have in the practice session. So we have almost dummy tables only. And let's see, I think we have created some tables in AdventureWorks in the previous sessions actually. So what are all those? We should have orders and customer tables present. So where are they? See, here we have. So this is the things, customers and orders that we created in the previous session. Let's see what are the data present in it. Let's execute. This one to give customers not found, just because that I did not use the particular database properly. So for that we have a command called use and with the database name. Let's go into new window. So just before that, I want to mention that, sorry, the use command, use AdventureWorks 2012. Execute this. So command completed successfully with the green tick and query executed successfully message. So it turned to AdventureWorks database. Let's see what is the data of customer table. So we have customers 1 to 6 with the names called A to F from the different cities. And we have orders table. Which actually says that which customer ordered which order. Like my online stores, online retail application keep getting orders. So that I'll be mentioning, like I'll be storing it as order one, order two, order three. And this is the particular ID which gives which customer ordered that particular order. So here, this one says customer one ordered, this order ID two says customer three has ordered, and this particular order three says that customer one only ordered, uh, like and number of customers can add multiple orders to Amazon or Flipkart, just like the way. So order four is ordered by customer five, and order five is being ordered by customer seven. So we don't have here two. The customer two did not order anything. Customer four did not order anything. Customer six did not order anything. So this is how this particular orders table being populated. And with an example of previous one, say this is the customers table. One moment. This is the customer table. And this is the order table. So whatever the match records on a condition, that will be the output of this particular section. So let's see. Select. I want to see which customer ID, which customer has placed which order, or like which order is responsible for which customer ID. For that, I want to see OID from orders table and cursed ID from customer from the same table, and customer name from this particular table. So let's say this is name from. So here I am saying select few different columns from keyword, and then tables, orders. This is the table one, on the joining condition, join with the table called customer, and say the another keyword on it. This on keyword is to mention the condition on which these two tables has to join. I want to join these two tables on basis of customer ID present in both the tables. So so I say cust id is equals to cust id, because I have the same name in the both the tables. So here one more problem. So we have customer ID in both the tables with the same name. How the database management studio knows that this cust ID from which table and this cust ID from which table? So for that we use aliases. It is just that I'm giving different names. So alias names or short names or usable names for this particular tables. So I'm giving orders table as O and customer table as cust. So just this short forms, let's say C only. And I want to mention from which table this cust ID should get from. So whichever the table, it is fine. Let's just say um, from customer C dot customer ID, and I want to join the condition on O dot customer ID and as well as C dot customer ID, because these are the on this condition only I want to get the details from. Yep. Thanks, Jay. So here, let's see. These are the four orders that are present. If you could notice, I have only customers 1 to 6, but my orders include customer ID 7. So who is not present in the customers table. So here join output, notice. So I have only 1, 1, 3, 5 customers. 7 I don't have. That is because I don't have the details of customer 7 in the customer table. And I have 1, 3, 2, 4, and as well as the customer 7 order that I don't have. That is of ID 5. This does not have in this output. That is because it did not match the mentioned condition. Like so only matched records are the output of this particular inner join. So are we clear on this? So this comes to a finish line of inner join. And let's say and we go with left join. So same conditions, we have two tables. Let's say this has the table 1 and this has table 2. What the left join does is that it takes all the details from the left table, and let's fill it out for this good sake. So all the details from the left tables and matched records from the right tables. So whatever the details that are from left table and as well as the matched records from the right table will be the output of the left join. So with this example only, let's say I'll be using the same query for simplicity purposes. I just mentioned left here. So, yep, any doubts? Okay, so I want to get all the orders and whichever the customers ordered. So in the previous section, I want all the customer details with the particular custom ordered order ID. Here, I want all the orders data with corresponding customer who has ordered that particular order. Let's execute this. See, this is the like output for inner join. Let's give that left join. Say we have order 5 who customer ID we don't have from the customer table. So that's why these two fields are null. So let's see if I want to select the customer ID also from the order table. So here I am changing the alias name to O. So I want to get the customer ID from also from the table called orders. So notice the change in the output. Here we go. So previously it was null. So after I change customer ID to select from orders table, this gives me order ID value. So this is about the left join. And about the right join, it gives all the details from the right table and as well as match the records from the left table. So all this data, uh, this particular data will be exempted. So we will not be worrying about this particular data. So all this matched records we will be getting on it. So again, same query I'll be using, just that a little changes. So I'm changing this to normal one. Sorry, the customer tables ID, and instead of left, I'd be using right. So this particular thing will be returning all the customer details and corresponding orders just because I have mentioned right join and the right table is customer. So I will be getting all the details from the customer and match records from the orders. Here we go. Okay, are we clear on this? Confirmation, guys. Only I got two confirmations. Okay, and I have one more join called full auto join. So for that, I'm gonna just say full and outer keyword. So what it gives is that it just gives Cartesian product of this customers and orders. So whatever the column count will be there on like both the tables, it just multiplies and it just gives all the details. Full auto join, it just gave the table 1 and table 2's data, like to consider with this all the data and matched records in the matched format. So this is about joins. Any doubts? Mute yourself if you're not. So this particular cross join is like Cartesian product of all the details. So I have six orders and the matched records from the both tables. So that will be the Cartesian product. Cross join is being discussed. Self join is the one, it just joins itself. Nothing much about it. Anything else?
Please execute the outer join.
Auto join, this is the one.
Please execute.
Yes, I'm executing. Yes, all the details from both the tables.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, any other things? So I'll call it off a day.